Welcome to The Chosen, Season 4, Episodes 7 and 8 review from Sharingmoviesworthy. I'm David, and wow, what a month it has been. Guy's got a new job, Peter got a new name, and Jesus found some new fame, which isn't so good, right? Welcome back to The Chosen Season 4, Episodes 7 and 8 review. Now be sure to subscribe down below so that you never miss another film review from SMW. Be sure to also check out our playlists in the community podcast streams, but more on that later. Right now, we want you to know that there's lots going on. We're back. Wow, episode 7 starts with something different. You got to really pay attention to see what's happening because it's a fast forward. You don't know what's happening. Somebody gets out of a cart, walks across the field, and then we hear Mary say, "Matthew, you grew a beard." And Matthew answers her back, "Yep, and I finished my book." To which Mary then says, "I'm going to stay up all night and read it." Now, Dallas Jenkins, the creator, director, and one of 3 writers on The Chosen, says that the turnout at the theaters has been overwhelming and very encouraging, but he knows that some people can't wait to see the show on The Chosen app.
Life is conflict. I think that the audience will appreciate that we are accurately, I believe, capturing an authentic human experience, the highs and, yes, the lows, the gains and, yes, the losses, in a way that you don't normally see in a Jesus project. And I think you don't always see that in any project. And so I think that those who appreciate good television, as I do, I believe are going to appreciate this season. The cast and the crew who have seen it and who have worked on it have said this is our favorite season yet, even though in many ways it's the most painful so far. And I think audiences are going to feel that.
Now, I don't want to give all the story away, but Mary starts asking Matthew questions. She wants to know about this disciple and that one. And remember, we're in the future. Jonathan Roomie, who plays Jesus, says we're beyond the halfway point.
But I want people to know that it doesn't end with death. The story ends with life and light and truth and hope and love. People seem to think they know why I'm here. Do you think I've come to give peace on earth?
This edict identifies Jesus of Nazareth.
And wham! We're back with Jesus in the present day walking towards Lazarus. And we see Mary and Martha, and they're having a party. And all these things are starting to happen. Now, you know what happens in John chapter 12, verse 3, where Mary does something, right? Well, this is what's so cool about the backstory that we see in The Chosen time and time again, because Mary is now visiting with a merchant. So we see Mary, she's talking to the merchant. She says, no, I want to buy the good stuff. And the lady says, no, there's no good stuff. He says, no, I know you know, and this has to be worthy of a king. Now, it's at that point that we also see some sadness as mother of Jesus is trying to comfort her son. But again, we hear from Jonathan Roomie, who plays Jesus.
Jesus and Mary grow closer and closer because they will ultimately be essentially connected through what's happening in Jesus, what's going to happen to him, and with the crucifixion, his suffering, his death, but ultimately his resurrection. So I think having the opportunity to walk his mother, so to speak, through the events to come, and to really ground her and reassure her and encourage her through this part of the journey, I think he's setting her up to be able to handle what's next.
I'm not going to give this next big part away because even Dallas Jenkins says you can expect a big miracle. And this is when Jesus goes to the tomb and he says, "Come out." So we see some things happening, and even the Sadducees are not happy with what's taking place. Thomas isn't happy, so keep an eye on Thomas as well. And what really stuck in my heart, it's when Mary says, the darkness always comes before the light. Before you know it, we're starting episode 8 with a flash, and there's a parade. So we're going forward now. people are talking about making preparations for the Passover, and we even get to see Gaius. The spy guy shows up. He's talking about what's going on as well. What is this with this Jesus guy? And there's a dinner to be held with Mary and Martha. And you know what happens, because she then pulls out what she's bought from the merchant. Judas isn't happy. Some of the disciples are told to go get a donkey. And this again is where we're seeing the extra parts of the episodes. You know, we see what's recorded in the Bible, but now we see what possibly could be some interaction with going and getting a donkey for Jesus. So it's really emotional, but also exciting. There's lots of stuff going on. And Paris, who plays Matthew, along with Noah, who plays Andrew, talk about how exciting it is to watch this in the theater.
Honestly, to me, like, one of the things that I'm most excited about is the fact that we get to watch the entire season in theaters, because it does feel like a communal show. It feels like something that a lot of people love watching with their family, their friends, you know, different groups. And so, to me, I'm excited to go and witness it, not in the dark in my room, like, wondering if my performance is good or bad or being nervous. It's like, no, we get to all watch it together as a group. And that, I think, will be just the best possible way to take in the show.
For me, as a viewer of artistic media or just this show, I think what I like is seeing that you are going to find things that are going to help you in life and find things that you didn't know you were seeking. So I relate to that, because our show really just has these themes that people, it kind of like, it's therapy in a way, or it's just like it helps you. And I think that's what you're going to see this season, is more of that to help you go through those ups and downs, because some of us are going through stuff, and I think this show really helps you get through those kind of dark days.
Now we're getting a little more details as we get into 7 and 8. And it's really interesting. The response that we hear from Peter is kind of obvious. Lord, I'll go wherever you want me to go. And I personally feel the same way. But we know how it turns out. So, in the very end, it's not really a cliffhanger, but we hear from Jesus, and it's in the Bible. It says to his disciples, I want you to know I loved you as my own, and I will love you till the end. Now, these episodes are worth checking out, but be sure also to subscribe down below so you never miss another episode, another film review, another two pastors from your friends here at Sharing Movies Worthy. And remember, keep sharing movies worthy.